What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Rail. So today's video, I want to showcase this gun empty triple stack mini scheme in Madden 24. So if you enjoy this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So if you're going to be using this in regs, you got to make sure that you have the Chiefs. And if you're going to be using this in MUT, you just got to make sure that you have a hot route master quarterback. So this formation, I put out a video on it earlier, and I'm wanting to come back and do another video. I'm going to have gameplay for you. And also the ebook is live with this particular formation. So as you're watching this video, if you truly enjoy this formation, you can actually head over to my website, allthingsmadden.com. The link is in the description, and this ebook is live. I promise you, you will not regret it. It has, I believe, 16 different setups out of this particular formation. There's a cover 3 beater, there's a cover 2 beater, which I'm gonna show you the cover 3 beater today. There's a cover 2 beater. It can destroy every single zone coverage, every single match coverage, and the run plays are excellent. So I'm just gonna kind of break down the runs and how to do the runs. I'm gonna show you cover 3 beater, then I'm actually gonna take you to the gameplay, and we'll kind of go through the gameplay and show you why this formation is extremely explosive. So with all that out the way, we are in the Saints playbook, by the way. Now, as far as when you go to this, you have to be on next gen and current gen. Don't worry, I am going to be putting out current gen content. I am going to be doing current gen ebooks, but I've been doing next gen heavy lately. So if you're current gen, please make sure you're sticking with me. I promise you, you won't regret it. So let's get right into this video though. So when you first come to this formation, you're going to be in tight end 3 at quarterback. You want to make sure you go to packages with the right stick, and it's going to put in your starting quarterback. Now, another thing that's cool about this is you actually can go ahead and sub. So if you want to run this play, this formation, you can keep your tight end 3 in. I love using it for Saints power RPO and quarterback zone left. So what you can do is you can actually sub in your starting tight end at this tight end number 3 spot in your depth chart. You actually can use this, you can use your tight end as a running back, if that makes sense. Or if you have a good tight end 2, you can put that tight end 2 right there. Maybe he's fast, maybe he just, those different things. Now, also, what's really important, if you're going to be using this play or this formation, make sure you have your ball carrier on conservative. So that way, we actually won't be able to fumble with our quarterback as easily. So that's everything that I wanted to talk about with that. And also keep in mind, you can change up your personnel if you want to. If you want to add in your, maybe somebody else, so maybe you have a faster running back, et cetera, et cetera. You have the ability to do that. So what I'm going to do is first, I'm going to come out and just only show you the run plays first. So I'm going to start off in Saints power RPO, and I want to show you how it fares against the meta defense. So right now the meta defense is 3-3 to 3-3 Cub, doing that. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out in 3-3, and we're just going to come out with something random. It's not going to matter. And I just want to show you this real quick, because to be able to run this offense efficiently, you have to understand how to use these run plays versus what you're actually going to see in game. So a lot of times what you're going to see is they're going to go to Sam Will Blitz 3 first normally, or they're going to go to Mike Blitz 0. It just depends on who you're playing. But I'm going to kind of simulate this from this. So basically, this is going to act as the user. A lot of times they're going to, they're going to stay right here, or they're going to come right here and kind of hover. Or when you start running this offense enough, they're going to just stay in the middle. They're not going to hover. They're just going to stay about right here. So when it's RPO, okay, so listen, you have to listen. When they have this front, meaning when they come out in 3-3 Cub, this guy right here, he's going to come free if he's blitzing him. So see how he's blitzing? He's going to come absolutely free when you call the RPO. So I'm going to show you that now. So this run isn't good versus this defense just because you see how he comes free. That means that you have no choice but to throw that running back route. And a lot of times you can get baited. So there's a better run play in here, which I'm going to show you. It's the quarterback left that will actually do a better job. But first, I just want to show you that for some reason they aren't aligned correctly. You do have the ability to throw R1, and you actually can turn up and get some yards. So don't be afraid to throw that. It's just you won't be able to keep it with your quarterback, right? Now, the other thing that they'll do is they'll actually come to Mike Blitz 0. And they'll audible down the press, and normally they're going to sit in the defense like this, right? So I love to actually pass the ball against this defense. If you want to know more about passing setups versus all-out man blitz, make sure you check out the first video that I put on this formation. I went over all that extensively, so I'm not going to talk about it right now. So I'm going to spy him, and I just want you to see how this RPO looks versus it. And like I said, anytime he blitzes, he's going to come in free because of alignment. So this play is extremely hard to run whenever they're in that specific formation. So if you notice your opponent's playing 3-3 Cub, or you're just having a tough time running the RPO, go ahead and go quarterback zone left, and then it's gonna, the blocking is completely different. So we'll go back to Sam Will Blitz 3. Let me go ahead and grab him, bring him where he's normally going to be. I'm going to spy him to keep him here. And what you're going to notice is that you can still, so when it's the quarterback zone play, I love the ID of the user. So he's going to come free, but I love the ID of the user. It's just a preference of mine. So he's still going to come free, but he'll just almost never get there, if that makes sense. Now, that was a terrible type of run. And in those situations, if I know I'm going to run this quarterback play, I love to actually sub in my tight end right here. I don't like to do it with my quarterback unless I have just a super athletic freak. So I would actually just, sub in Travis Kelce right here to be my tight end 3, if that makes sense. If I know I'm going to run this play, because I like to sneak this in, if that makes sense. So I kind of show you this again and again. I'm going to show you one more time. Then I'm also going to show you versus man coverage. Now, I like it a lot better versus man, but this time we're actually going to ID the guy that's coming free, because sometimes if you ID them, they will block them. But when you run this play, you have to go straight, because sometimes they'll block them. Sometimes that running back can get a chip on them. It just depends on how fast. It's not how fast, but it depends on if you get crazy animations, because sometimes he'll like run into the tackle sometimes, or if you just kind of wait and go back outside. But a lot of times when you run this play, you're going to have to go straight, and what happens is the user will normally come and try to blow it up. This is why I like to have a bigger tight end running this ball if I'm going to do this, because in this particular set, it's actually hard to run that play. So I do want to show you one time versus Mike Blitz 0. We're going to go ahead and spy him to simulate the user. And whenever they're running this Mike, 3-3 Cub, I actually love to pass the ball a lot to get them out of this 3-3 Cub, if you want to be honest, because 3-3 Cub does do a great job, but this is more so for short yardage style runs, and I'm just going to pass the ball a lot versus this set. So in the ebook, I go over my favorite dots versus this 3-3 formation, 3-3 Cub. So that's why I believe this ebook is worth it, because this is the hardest formation you will have to go against when you're running this empty, only because they actually play the run extremely well. Okay, so last thing I want to show you before I hop into gameplay is going to be this cover 3 bomb. Now, this is inside the ebook, so I'm just going to go to cover 3 drop right here, so no sense in just audible into the Sam. So this one is a cover 3 bomb, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take square, we're going to put him on a crosser, and we're going to take X, and we're going to put him on a slant. Now, this is all that we're going to do, and from this right here, we're actually going to be able to split cover 3 for a 1-play touchdown. So circle is going to be who we're looking for. So this guy just needs to be your wide receiver 1, or just somebody who has great deep route running. That's all we really need, and everything else is going to fall into place. Now, when you throw this, you're going to have to highball this as soon as after he breaks. So notice that he breaks, and then we're going to get a high ball, and you're going to as long as that's your number 1 receiver, he's normally going to catch it. But this route is so good that you don't need a lot of time in the pocket. And the good thing is that if you feel like you're running out of time, you can actually throw this crosser right here. So you're going to make a high-low read between, our crosser and right here. And normally the user will either A, they'll kind of ride the slant a little bit, or B, they're actually going to run straight with our crosser. So a lot of times you'll be able to dump this ball if you see something you don't like. Maybe you're worried to throw it. And the reason that this throw works is because this safety right here, notice he's man turn, so he man locks onto this little streak route by our tight end. And when that happens, that's when we're gonna wait for him to actually get like a little separation. So when we call this play, I think it's the crosser, but it pulls him off a tiny bit, and he gets a speed burst, and that's what's going to allow us to actually split that. So I'm going to throw that for you one more time, and then after that, we're going to hop straight into our gameplay that I have for you guys. So again, that setup is square on a crosser. We're going to take X, put him on a slant, and that is all that we're going to need to do. Now, I'm not going to spy anybody because I shouldn't have to. You just need to step up in the pocket. Oh, I threw that a little bit too early, but it's fine. I'm going to do it one more time because the timing on this play is really important. As you tell, I could have still threw it, but had I waited half a second longer, that throw is easier to make. And again, this is just a bomb setup, so if you're not able to get it, it's okay. So notice how right there we're going to throw a high ball, and then you're normally going to be able to run under it. So again, I will put my wide receiver 1 right there. Don't put your wide receiver 2 or 3. You just need somebody who has deep route running and great catching, and is going to be able to get the job done. But let's go in and hop straight into this gameplay. Alright, so right here, we are going against the Bears first. And this is the RPO play I was telling you guys about. And if you notice right here, normally the block is going to be pretty good, and it's just a really great formation, only because your opponent is just going to have to be in a certain style of defense, and they're going to have to be above average players to stop this, because we're going to overload them with too much to have to worry about. And look at all those pancake blocks. You guys might think that doesn't happen, but you'll be surprised how often it happens where they just get just pancaked. So right here, I just wanted to show you just basically how we got the ball back, so you can kind of understand the flow of the game. So we were able to actually get the ball back, but he ended up actually quitting extremely early, so I decided to give you guys one more gameplay. So I went ahead and loaded up, and next we ended up getting the Jets, and this was actually a pretty fun game. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. So right here, I just want to show you guys just one of the setups that I really love. So right there, oh, that's right, I forgot. I accidentally had my tight end in at the quarterback position, so you have to make sure that you are paying attention. And right here, I still didn't realize it, so I was getting ready to actually cook up a dot, and I was wondering why I wasn't getting my Hot Route Master set up, so I finally figured it out. You have to make sure you remember to flick that analog stick to take your tight end 3 out, because I don't want you making that same mistake that I made. So right here, we find a nice dot across the middle, and Kadarius Toney is going to be to the races. So you're going to find with this formation, there is going to be a lot of people that don't know how to handle this formation, because it beats every zone in the game. It's also a really great 2-point conversion play, as you can tell. I could have threw the R1 route, or I could have ran it. So there's just a lot of things that you could do with this. You try to play zone right there, and we're going to just be able to have a high-low read, and it's just going to make it hard. So once you start getting good with this formation, a lot of things I love to do is do fake audibles. So act like I'm passing the ball, like, he's setting up for pass, and then I'm actually going to, actually run the ball. So that's good, because what happens is if they pass commit with this play, I believe that's what makes pancakes more likely. And then also, if they start trying to play dumb defense because they're trying to get people in the box for the run, this formation lets you put deeper posts to where you can actually throw it deep. And then when they start overcommitting to the deep, we can start doing things like, drags and zig routes, underneath. So really we're going to make this person just have no idea how to stop everything that we're throwing at him. Is essentially, he has no idea what play is coming next. And when you have your opponent to where they have no idea whether you're going to pass the ball, whether you're going to run the ball, what kind of route you're going to put on the field, it makes it very tough. So if you notice, his user actually went over there to actually guard the running back to take away that RPO, which is why that hole was so wide open for Patrick Mahomes. And again, when you do this scheme online, you want to make sure that you actually sub in your tight end when you want to run the ball. Not every single time, of course, but just do it enough to where you seen how I fumbled that last drive. You won't have to worry about that if you put in somebody like Travis Kelce or the tight end number 2. I forget his name. I think it's Noah Gray, I believe, is the tight end 2. So just keep that in mind. Now, I love to do this with Patrick Mahomes just because we're going to make him think we're passing the ball, but we're going to run it. And you could tell, just look how effective this thing was. Now, obviously, that's Patrick Mahomes just being Patrick Mahomes, but either way, it was a big game regardless, and there's just not really much you can do about that. So I just wanted to take the time right here. Now, right here, I did make a mistake. I thought I was going to be able to move that deep safety over a little bit more, but we were 6 for 7 for 169 yards right here. So that's also Sauce Gardner on Travis Kelce. So what happens is your opponent start playing man, they'll try to start shading down, shading up, but that's going to allow these other routes to get wide open. But right there, we threaded the needle. Our opponent didn't like that and decided to quit out. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. I do hope you have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.